So technical hitch number 1. Riley spotted that.
What was that?
I've got the advert playing in the corner, and I think the sound is on. I think the sound is on. Let me just check, find out if I'm stupid. Yes. Yes. So, let's start again. We're here! Hooray! We've reached episode 4. Amazingly, I thought this week we would have no technical hitches, but it appears we've started with one.
I think it's gone back to normal.
I think it should be back to normal now. It should be back to normal. Yeah, we've caught up.
Yeah,
great music playing though. Wise words from Paul. Some great music.
Yeah, it's very, very true.
We were just talking
snippets.
about.
Sorry.
Just
we were
snippets.
we were just talking about why Alex isn't here.
Yeah,
and it's him and his missus' anniversary, his wife to be anniversary, so he couldn't join in. But he remembered this morning, which is never a good thing. But you know,
at least
he's a wise man to not join in.
At least he remembered.
You guys almost had it. I know. Look, you know, we're trying. Yeah, we'll have it down by about episode 901.
It wouldn't be as charming if it was all perfect. Do you know? Yeah, I think we're slowly evolving. Like we got our little colourful boxes around our faces last week, and I've got the advert probably backfired a little bit. But it's going. It's a bit out of date as well because it says "Not Enough" is our latest single, and I think we've had 1, 2, 3. I think we're 5 singles past that now, so I might need to fix it up. And it says, and it's reminding people that the album's out on the 25th of February 2022. But whatever, I just needed something. I actually overlooked that. But hey, guys, we had a great gig last weekend at Just Push Play.
Where do we play?
Just Push Play.
Did anyone else get a t-shirt? Just going to throw it out there. I think I was the only one.
I
suck it in.
Didn't. I had...
Try and get a free one.
I was thinking about that, but then I felt really bad because it's a charitable donation.
Charity. That's why I bought it. That's why I was like, it's 20 quid, but at least I know it went to charity. Yeah.
Nice little comment in the chat there about Alex possibly being at an Emmerdale reunion.
Yeah.
He definitely goes for the food.
Speaking of that, there was a Neighbours finale now. So maybe if there's an Emmerdale finale, Alex will turn up.
Should we
Is
just
Emmerdale finished? Is it still going? Sorry, just like completely digressing. Did you find out?
What, about the Neighbours finale?
No, about if Emmerdale has had its finale yet, or it's finished already. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think we'll go on to our first thing, and obviously just talk about Neighbours. So I'm just going to transition now. Oh, look at that. That's slick.
Is it smooth?
I believe it was.
I don't know, I can't see. There's a time lapse, so I can't see it yet. So
right, yeah, okay. But anyway, so Kylie, Jason, and his Donovan, they're all there.
Yeah.
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. And I tell you what, you probably can't see this yet, Drew, but Jason is rocking a bit of flannel. So he's grunge through and through.
There you go.
Probably a big fan of Silverchair.
Claim to fame for me, I was on a Lingus with Jason Donovan.
Really?
He was sat in standard class behind me, actually.
What was he doing in standard class?
Getting a plane. He obviously went to Ireland for whatever reasons and came back. We were on the same plane, and I just kept looking, going, "That's Jason Donovan," and he's just like reading some in-flight info.
Just having a look about this. Apparently, Drew, you've started watching it, haven't you?
Yeah, and then my 5 crashed, so I was slightly disheartened this morning, but you know, it's all right.
So
Guy Pearce is well in it though.
There has been a little bit of controversy about Kylie's appearance. It says here that it was apparently very brief. She didn't say much, and even says some even speculated that Kylie was being paid by the word. That would.
Oh really? Like
imagine getting paid by the word.
She just didn't want to be in it. She's like, I just don't want to do this. You know.
I mean, Kylie looks pretty good still.
Mate, Guy Pearce. Well, that's weird because like Guy Pearce was in it, right? I would say, who's the most successful person's come out of Neighbours?
Kylie Minogue.
I would certainly. No, I don't think so.
What are we talking? How do you rate success though?
I Actually, well, I mean,
If
I
you're
was going to
talking
go
about critical acclaim, yeah, Guy Pearce is the best actor.
Guy Pearce is like a full-blown Hollywood movie star.
Who was the girl that was
Yes,
in Taken? She came from Neighbours.
there's a few, mate. There was what she calls in Neighbours, the blonde girl, who's in Wolf of Wall Street and all that. What's her face? She was in Neighbours.
Oh, was she?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
knows the actress. I don't think she's in the final episode, no. She's like well too famous for that. But Guy Pearce is like, yeah, I'll be in Neighbours.
Natalie Imbruglia.
Yes, she was in Neighbours. Yeah.
Who else? Holly Valance, the old kiss
Yeah,
kiss.
Holly
That's what I was
Valance.
thinking of, yeah.
So I tell you what is
Same big
is
Google
a link. Is a strange link, you know. And before you go on and give it all Guy Pearce Hollywood actor, I think you're forgetting that Kylie Minogue played Cammy in Street Fighter the movie. So
Oh
show a
my
little
god, what
respect.
film? I
Yeah.
forgot about that film with Jean-Claude
But
Van Damme. I had that on VHS.
The link I can think of, right, is that Holly Valance also starred in the cinematic adaptation of the big bouncing boobies computer game Dead or Alive. So
Wow.
two of their leading ladies went on to star in, you know, low budget computer game movies.
Wow.
But Guy Pearce is a very underrated actor. I mean, I saw him in watched the other day Alien Covenant.
Yeah, he's in that.
Absolutely awesome in that. Really.
Memento.
Good. Yeah.
Where
Was he
everything's
in
backwards.
was he in
LA,
Moon Knight?
LA Confidential.
Exactly. He's in. Sorry, he's in a. He's in a. He's at Iron Man 3, isn't it? Is it Iron Man or
Was
one
it?
of those? Yeah, he's the baddie in one of those Avengers or one of the Avengers. Or...
It was
I
really
thought
good in LA Confidential. I thought
Yeah,
that
that's
was really
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. You know, Mike from Neighbours. He knew.
I still think
I suppose
Kylie's
it-
bigger.
Pop them back, to be honest, but that would have done. Yeah, there you go. Memento. There you go. Great film. Everything's backwards. It's in reverse. Yeah.
John is sitting on the Iron Throne in a Jackass shirt. Riley's noticed that one. So, yeah, nice mix. I like it when to quote Power Man 5000, little blast from the past, when worlds collide.
I mean,
Yeah. Anyway, shall we play a bit of music?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about bands who released great albums that never really got the recognition they deserved. And I guess funny thing, we were texting about in our group and completely forgot that Nicky, the lead singer of the band whose music we're going to play, was also in our group. But I think he took it the right way, didn't he, Drew?
Oh yeah. I spoke to him. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And he said, "Oh no." I said, "It's fine." I was just joking, mate. I said, "That's fine," because it was a bit like, yeah, a bit forward. But I was like, no, because I was chatting to him about the other day, and I said, "Oh man," because I kept going about his album, how great it was, and stuff like that. So he knows how I feel about his band, you know.
Yeah. And also,
Candlebox, yeah, Candlebox, great band, Paul. That's that. There you go. Linked to Pearl Jam with that. Dave Cruisen is the drummer of Candlebox. My brother was really into Candlebox. And Dave Cruisen played on 10. Was the original drummer on 10.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate, Pearl Jam had about 3 drummers in the first 2 years.
Wow.
Like, it was fucking loads until they had Matt Cameron. Like, it was just, they just kept going through drum, maybe more. It was like really early days. Like, Dave Cruisen played on the record. He couldn't do it. They got Matt Chamberlain. He left because he wanted to do something else. And it was just like, oh, Matt was a bit getting spun on top of drummers. And then they, on that tour, that's when they got Dave Brucey or whatever it is. And then they got rid of him about 3 albums in, and then they got Jack Irons, and they got rid of it, and then he left, and then they got Matt Cameron, and he's been solid as a rock ever since. But it was like Drummersville, you know, a bit like us with bass players.
Yeah, on number 3 now.
I think everyone has like, it seems to be like, it happens, man. Like you know, there's always.
Is it a problematic position in the band?
What, bass players?
Well, just every band has that problematic position, don't they?
Yeah, there's always every band. I don't think there's one band in the world that probably hasn't changed a member or two, even in its early days. You know, because you still have to kind of find your feet with everything. Or, mate, Maiden are like how many members? You know, Kiss, like it's just like,
yeah,
it is what it is, isn't it? You know.
Right. Let's listen to some music.
Anyway, let's listen to music. Yeah.
This is the Rocket Dolls. Great band. Kind of got fucking shafted by COVID. But if you haven't heard the record, The Art of Disconnect,
It is.
after the stream, go and have a listen to it. Okay? Here we go. This is our band of the week. the Rocket Dolls, and this is an amazing song called Grip. The Grip. The Grip. Arrgh! And we're back. How was that? Some
mate,
that's awesome, mate. That was really good.
It's great. It's really good.
Top
really
comments. We've had a bit of a Beautiful People kind of vibe. Definitely with the dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Great bands, really good bands, you know. But it's like they released an album as lockdown happens.
Yeah.
You know, like just ruined by like. You know,
it's like this COVID thing's not going to be a big deal.
Kind of was.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably a few albums that got released that just didn't see the light of day because it all came out.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, I mean, to a lesser extent us, but we know amongst Liars, I mean, they decided to sit on it, didn't they? And
they did, and it's probably good that they did. But I don't know. At the same time, I bet you they're probably a bit like, you know, you get to a point where you're a bit like. I know with us, with our record, like it just gets to a point where you're like, you know, you're almost over it before it's even out, you know, and you can't sort of allow that to happen. It's probably a good idea that they did wait it out, but I'm sure I think with Nicky and all that, they just, I don't think they realised the storm of it. They just were like, oh, we'll just put it. It was too late. You know what I mean? Like it was already sort of set in motion. So it was just like. You know, I mean, you talk about there's some bands. I was listening to like Eddie Trunk and stuff, and they were sort of saying like some of these bands have written like 2 or 3 albums in lockdown because they're just like, you know.
I mean, you imagine how many songs the Smashing Pumpkins have written in that time. Probably written
Billy Corgan,
5
if you wrote
albums.
a song a day, it'd just be like, I've just got so many albums right now. Like, you know.
All on the go. So yeah, just great albums that never really got the recognition they deserve. What have you been thinking about other than the Rocket Dolls?
What, me?
Yeah, what either of you? Yeah.
What other albums that what as in?
I mean, we could talk about the Art of Disconnect for 20 minutes, but we could also just talk about other albums that are in that because I've got some.
But that's what I mean. What you mean?
up.
Albums that didn't quite hit the grade.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's albums that we think should have been fucking massive, but just never quite got the recognition they deserve.
What, because of lockdown, or just as a general vibe?
Just in general. We can move away from lockdown.
That's a good shout. In general. There's always a band like, okay, so there's a band, and me and Nikki, we've got a shared love of a band called Slaves to Gravity, and that was like back in early 2000s, and that again, Chris Sheldon mixed that because that again, it's all connected, and it's Tom Gleeson, who I sort of known off and on since we were kids, and he now plays for Feeder, plays guitar on Feeder, but he was a frontman and singer, and did a couple of really amazing produced albums. The first album's called Scatter the Crow, and Chris mixed that. That's a great sounding album. There's another album Chris mixed. There's a few that Chris mixed, and it was one of the reasons I went to him about stuff, because I said, look, it's not your Foo Fighter thing. It's some of these albums that I just have never seen the light of day that I think are amazing. There's a band called Mills, and it's an album called Decatur. So if anyone checks it out, I'm going to write it here because it's so good. It's called Mills. It's got a Foo Fighter tinge to it, and it came out about 15 years ago. It's Richie Mills. He was like the drummer of a band called Sunner. Do you remember Sunner?
I remember Sunner, yeah.
That was a good album as well.
Yeah.
Sunner. And then he went off and became a singer. And, you know, it's a really good record. And it's one of the ones I always reference, one of the tracks for when we were mixing our record to other producers. And I just thought in the end, I'm just going to go to the guy who mixed that album. And it was Chris, and I just told him, and he went, "Oh yeah, cool, you like that album?" I said, "Yeah, I do. It's really good." Like, so it was nice to talk to him about it and stuff like that. But it's man, Ruben. I like Ruben.
I was thinking of Ruben.
What's the album I like? What's the Very Fast, Very Dangerous is my favourite album. Chris Sheldon again.
Do you feel like Chris might be a bit of a curse?
Yeah, he's sort of done loads of albums that didn't quite hit the grade. Yeah, like amazing sounding, produced and song-written albums that, like, you know.
I've got one that I think a few people in the chat and you will definitely go with. You can't see this, but Span, Mass Distraction. I mean,
mate, why was that not in my brain?
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with that, and I
was too busy in Chris Sheldon. I was too busy just loving Chris Sheldon.
So I'm trying to think who mixed.
Gil Norton produced. Kevin Shirley mixed it.
I don't know if I can't fact check this now, right? But I'm pretty sure Chris Lord Algie, however you pronounce his name, I believe he did one of the single remixes.
Probably.
I could be wrong, but bear in mind, like in 2003, 2004, he wasn't quite the Lord of the Mix he is now.
He was just Chris Algie.
Yeah.
as an algae.
Yeah. He got the Lord added when the mixes started coming out, when he started mixing like Blink-182 and whatever, and they were like, yeah, you get that on your name. But yeah, what a fucking record. Seriously, I've said this a million times, but it was a crime against music that Span had to open for Violent Delight, and it's a good job. At the time, I didn't really understand what was going on because I should have been embarrassed every night. They were so unbelievably good, and if anybody has followed what Bernhoft has done, you know, it's a completely different vibe, Bernhoft, but it just shows what an amazing singer and versatile songwriter he is.
Just a small tangent. I've just noticed on Drew's Just With Play t-shirt, it's got a transmission VD vibe.
It is, isn't it?
With the artwork.
Yeah, true.
I just noticed that.
Rod, put it up. Put up the album cover.
Transmission.
This
Yeah,
is
let me see if I can-
This is Rod's band when he was younger. Top 25 single. Just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah. Oh, I've misspelled delight, but here we
We
go.
should
Let's
cover
see.
it.
Let's see. There we go. I mean, it's. I'll tell you what. It is really similar to. It's really similar to They Fell from the Sky, Decade.
It is, isn't it?
Because if we pull this one up, there we go. I mean, that is. If I had money, I'd probably sue. Anyway, another great album from a band that I also toured with years ago. God Doesn't Care by Instruction.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
That is the ultimate power combo of producer and mixer, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it is redonkulous. Bob, mother flipping Ezrin, doing your album.
Like the other day, this shit just doesn't happen anymore. Where did you get your first album produced by? Bob Ezrin. Your first album.
Do you remember who mixed it?
No, let's have a look.
I think it was Andy Wallace. I think it was Andy Wallace.
No, you're right. It was Bob Ezrin.
And Andy Wallace.
I mean, for Christ's sake. Like, if
And they had the songs as well. I don't get it. And I think what was the most amazing thing was my favourite song on the album was a song called I'm Dead. My second favourite was Breakdown.
Do you want to play it? Do you want to play?
Oh, I can't. I haven't got it all teed up. But
what's the
we'll
album
definitely
called?
do. It's called God Doesn't Care.
I've got it on CD.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah, such a great record. But those two
Check it out.
songs.
I've written it in the chat group.
Yeah, those two songs that were my favourite songs on the record. And bear in mind that we played so many gigs with these guys. We're actually two new songs that they wrote, like in the studio, and it's like that just shows the level of this band. But for some reason, it just didn't connect.
I know, it's so good. I've got another one. It is another Sheldon one, but of course, Ocean Size. Oh, so there we go.
Ocean Size. Hang
It
on.
rings a bell. See?
Ocean Size. That's is that bigger than King Size?
Yeah, I think so.
You think?
One better. One is one bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One bigger. Ocean Size. Feels like it might be quite a big jump. There we go. Ocean
I'm
Size.
gonna find this Rocket Dolls. See if I can find a shop for. I don't think there is a shop anymore for the Rocket.
I had it up here. If we look, Art Disconnect, you can go to Amazon Music and buy the MP3 of the album for $9.99.
But he wants a physical on CD. It's
A
not,
physical.
I've got a physical album. I've got vinyl.
We'll get in touch with Nikki. I'm sure Nikki can sort it out.
Yeah, Nicky will sort you out, dude. It's fine.
Yeah. So my last one, you guys might not be as enthusiastic about this. It's a bit emo, but it is In Reverie by Saves the Day. I don't know if either of you...
Saves the Day.
Yeah, this is like their Pinkerton, but it was coming off the back of I think it was Through Being Cool, which had
You're obsessed with Pinkerton, mate.
Yeah, I am obsessed with Pinkerton. Pinkerton could be on that. To be fair, like
I don't know.
I mean, Pinkerton was successful, but it's become successful over the years. Do you know what I mean? It's like you get bands that are huge. You get bands like Green Day, and like now even like Kaplunk has sold 1 million albums, but it didn't sell it during the time. Although that's different because obviously they were earlier in their career, and actually probably Kaplunk was a huge success for them, a bit like Dude Ranch with Blink, or some of the early Offspring records. But yeah, In Reverie was just from what I recall, it was just a massive flop. And I just think it isn't very commercial, and it is so different to the album that has At Your Funeral, which is a great album. They always reminded me in terms of the guitar playing of like an emo version of the Smiths. Although I don't think you need to be an emo version of the Smiths. The Smiths were kind of emo before emo existed, really. With a completely different vocal style. But yeah, definitely check the album out. It's first song, Anywhere with You, is an absolute massive, massive track. Very much in that sort of Pinkerton mould. You know when like drums come in and it feels like, I don't know, the drum kit's been thrown down the stairs? Like, yeah. Solid. Solid records. John, any records you love that?
Yeah,
no one
sorry,
else
I
does?
feel like we just ignored John. Who's John? Oh, hello.
All right.
It's a bass player thing. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Shut up. You will speak.
Sorry, John. Were you thinking you're talking about bass player records that didn't quite connect? I've got a good one. Fieldy's Dreams. Yeah. This was Fieldy from Korn's solo album.
Oh God.
And it was shit. I don't have anything more to add other than what the fuck was that about? But were you a big fan of Fieldy?
I mean, especially when you start out. I mean, it's just it's such a unique sort of sound.
I don't like Korn. I like Untouchables, but I don't like Korn.
I did like Korn.
Well, me and John's first ever like rock concert, we went to see Korn at Wembley Arena.
Wow, was that Untouchables tour?
No, it was the Issues
No.
tour.
I don't know. I don't think we. I think you might be. You might be confusing with someone else, dude.
Probably, yeah.
The only time I've seen Korn was a download, and that was probably about 8 years ago.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I saw Korn. Yeah, because it was. We did go see Muse years and years.
Oh no, that was it. Yeah, we saw Muse at like Docklands Arena, didn't we?
Yes, that
I
was,
saw Muse once, like when they weren't like Muse now. It was like on the Origins of Symmetry tour. It was like
same tour we did.
They were
yeah, it's about that sort of time. Yeah.
Do you remember them? JJ72.
Yeah, I remember JJ. They were an Irish band, weren't they?
Yeah, Muse were on before them.
Really? Wow. They had some good tunes, JJ72, to be fair.
Yeah.
They were straddling a bit of a strange, because they were on Kerrang, but they were probably not heavy enough for Kerrang, but they were definitely,
they were a bit indie.
but they were too heavy for the indie sort of one, I think. Difficult.
That's
a bit
the
like My
problem.
Vitriol, you know? That was another band.
Oh my god, that's another one, isn't it? Bands that should have been albums that were again. Chris Sheldon did that.
It's not exactly an album that's forgotten, but it's kind of the same sort of.
Fine Lines. Did they ever do a second album?
Are you talking about the White Album by the Beatles, John?
No, you just cut out there, so I didn't actually catch out what you was. Didn't catch
Oh,
what
it
you
was
were
a
saying.
really bad joke. I said, was it the White Album by the Beatles?
It's not my favorite. Do you know what my favorite album, The Beatles, is?
Is it the best of the Beatles?
Mine is the best of my Vitrol. Like how they've done one album,
But
release
also-
it again, and call it the best of my Vitrol.
But also, I mean, the problem with the Beatles, I mean, like the Wings, Wings, the only band, the band that Beatles will wish they could have been.
Mate, Back to the Egg is a great
that's
album.
really bad.
Wings are a great band.
It's a couple of nice Wings track.
Not Wings, mate.
But I was just. Sorry.
What's your favourite Wings song?
Right.
Don't say Sergeant.
Think about that.
Man on the Run.
No, that's Band on the Run. Man on the Run.
Whatever.
Mine's check out a song called Old Sir Siam.
Oh, sorry. It has to be Live and Let Die, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's Bond.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. Sorry, song. It's more of a piece of music.
Yeah, a movement. Right, shall we whack on our track of the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we obviously played Just Push Play. It was fucking wicked, and there's some really great bands on. But the band I enjoyed the most was Scam. I hadn't seen them for years and years and years.
Really good.
Such great performers. It's not a new song, but this is Take It or Leave It by Scam. So let's cue it up. Oh bugger. Oh no, you know what I've just done?
Come on, Huey Lewis. Let's go.
Oh, Huey Lewis, track of the week.
And the
Oh
Poos.
Lord, I can't be bothered to change that. Right, let's just check that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, no, I have got Scam. Take it or leave it. Here we go. Right, and in 3, 2, 1, There'll be a warning about flashing lights.
I couldn't believe this was happening to me. I just wanted to get home. Would they remember me at home? Why did this happen to me?
Nice.
And we're back. What? How about that? Chat seemed to be
awesome,
enjoying
mate.
that.
That was really good.
Yeah,
Cool
we were,
bit.
when we were talking, we were just saying, like, when we on Saturday when they play, man, for 3 guys, they make a fucking noise. Such a full sound. And it's just such a great performance as well. Like, the bass player had some wild moves. Just everyone.
Yeah.
Drummer was sick as well.
They're
I think
great.
the
Great band.
drummer and guitarist, I think, are brothers. You know,
Are
like
they?
biological brothers.
As
Yeah.
opposed to
Anyway,
I'm not sure it's a good
moving
idea
swiftly
being in a
on.
band. I've never been in a band with my brother. I'm not sure it's a good idea being in a band with siblings and stuff.
How good? Because your brother's a drummer, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, is his drumming on the level of your guitar playing?
Yeah.
Is it? Fuck me.
Mm.
Wow. What
Better,
was...
mate. Fucking
Really?
amazing drummer. Yeah.
Oh,
He
man.
just stopped. He just was like, I was
Not
like,
bothered.
all right.
Can he?
Yeah,
can
he
he?
just got married and was like, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, fair enough. He never really wanted to go professional with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not for everyone, is it? You know, it's
You got
tough.
you got good musical genes, Drew.
Mate, family of bass players, actually, because you've got Cole and then you've got my granddad and, you know, it's like, a great granddad was a bass player. Silent movies, just playing the silent movies and stuff like that.
Wow.
oh cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember Pete and Don from Schism?
Yeah.
They had a mate, and he used to do live music for pornography.
Well, heavy on the wire, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, French guy.
Not
His name was Giles.
70s porn, you know, like.
No, like, yeah, he would just compose the music and he'd just play while they were. I don't know. I feel like as I'm telling this story, they might have been taking the piss out of me.
On the set? What do you mean, like on the set?
On the set,
like,
yeah. Maybe just to set the mood and do all that. I don't know. But the more I think about it, the more I realise that's quite a ludicrous concept.
Yeah.
There.
Especially how he insisted to be on the set to perform the music.
Would it be like that? A bit groovy? Would it be a bit?
We can't really hear Drew.
Something
about your microphone. It never really picks up your guitar.
No.
It's a bit odd. It's a shame. Shame. It's a waste, really. So I was going to say, you know, I kind of made a bit of a cock up on Saturday when we were playing, because I talk about, like, obviously we get our name from Bill Hicks, but a few people afterwards when they come up to the merch and when they were talking to us, they were like, so you kind of said you were named after a really important guy and then said nothing about it for the rest of the gig. I was like, oh yeah, shit, should have probably mentioned the old Hicks. I kind of, in my world, everyone knows who Bill Hicks is, so they just need to hear his voice and they'll go, it's Bill Hicks, but he's one of those, like, well-known people that's well-known in certain circles.
But also it's quite cool to have a little Easter egg, a little bit of mystery, and people have to kind of connect the dots and go, Bill Hicks. Do you know what I mean? So, there's nothing wrong with that. And
also, do you know, it's something that we're all really passionate about. We bloody love a good comedy. that was comedy gold, the reaction. Which leads me to a news story I saw. I want to get your opinion on this. It is that Mock the Week, which used to be one of my favourite shows. I haven't watched it for years. It does seem to have had diminishing returns, but they're cancelling it. It's finishing after 17 years.
Yeah, because no one watches it.
Why do you think that is?
Because Frankie Ball's left and it's not as fun anymore.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
But he's edgy as it goes. You know what I mean? Like, I used to love him. Like, he's terrible with things he says, but you know, it's like it really kind of. I think he was like asked. I just don't think he was asked back. Like, I think he might push the joke a bit far.
Yeah. But the thing
he
is,
was quite good at that.
The thing is, I forgot. I was reading this article today. So obviously they're saying 17 years. And it just hit me.
Years it's been on.
It just hit me. Russell Howard used to be on there as well, and
yeah,
then you go through it and you go, wow, like probably about 10, maybe even longer than that, maybe 10, 12 years ago, this was like the breeding ground for like great comedians. Like, you look at it and there's like Michael McIntyre was on there, like obviously as a guest, Sarah Millican, Kevin Bridges, John Bishop. You know, it was fantastic. But it just seems to have dried up in the last sort of 5 years or so.
Yeah, I always liked Sarah Millican. She had this kind of strange sort of thing. She had this kind of like innocent sort of sweetness about her. Then she'd just get you with that fucking right jab, with a joke just out of but just loads of great comedians come from.
Oh mate, well I mean like it's just like Hugh Dennis is on it, and he's just like my hero. He's so good. Mate, Hugh Dennis is amazing. I used to watch all this stuff when I was younger. Like, we used to watch, oh God, what was the show? The original one, there was four of them. It's Mary Whitehouse Experience, which was David Baddiel, Hugh Dennis, anyway, it was four of them. And then they split into sort of two comedy groups, and then you had, it wasn't Baddiel, Skinner and Baddiel, it was called Newman and Baddiel. Do you remember that? In the early 90s, Newman and Baddiel.
No.
They're the guys from the Mary Whitehouse series. And then it was Punt and Dennis. And all four of those were the Mary Whitehouse experience. And then they split up and went into two. They did their own duos together. And Punt and Dennis in the 90s. Watch Punt and Dennis. It is some of the funniest stuff. Like, Hugh Dennis is just. It's like sketch comedies. Do you know what I mean? A bit like that stuff in the 90s that you don't really see anymore. And you just be absolutely in tears watching it. Like, it was that good. Hunt and Dennis, check it out. It's really good.
That's one thing that I think.
Oh, John, you're going. John, you're frozen.
Oh, John.
One sec.
Hang on. No, I was just about to burst into song. I was going to go, you only see what your eyes want to see. Oh, he's back.
Oh, shit.
See? Look at that.
Cool.
Oh, and now
I was
Drew's
just
frozen.
Not
Oh, no,
really.
he's not.
I just thought I'm really good at just holding still. It's really fun. But yeah, like check those out, John. Honestly, Punt and Dennis and Newman and Badil. And then the guy, then it became Skinner and Badil because the Newman guy, he didn't like, they got really famous really quick. They were like doing Wembley Arena and all that kind of stuff. And he couldn't deal with the fame, so it was just too much for him. But
I will forget. Can you send me a couple of links?
yeah, Punt and Dennis. I'll find some links for you.
Whack
Check it out.
it in the chat so the
Yeah,
guys
I
can
will
check
do.
them out
Punt
too.
and Dennis,
I'll tell you
mate.
what,
I'll find some
I don't know if you guys can see the screen, right? But I think this sums up why Mock the Week has been cancelled. There are 3 guys who are on Mock the Week. I have no idea who they are. And like I said, 10, 12 years ago, you knew every comedian that was on Mock the Week, because if it was someone and it was their first Mock the Week appearance, you'd be checking out their stuff, or you'd be, you know what I mean? You'd be circling their name, you know, when they came to your local comedy club, and it's just, yeah, it's just a bit of a shame.
Well, also, I think with Frankie Boyle, because I remember because he got a lot of criticism because he did an awful lot of his jokes on Mock the Week that he then brought to his stand up. So I think even we thought, you know, I think that's part of the reason why I left, is because you realised.
I think they all do. If you, the thing is, I think you know, obviously lots of people watch comedy on BBC or whatever, and not as many people go to live shows. But you know, if you go to a live show, like you realise with some comedians, it's maybe 50% of their material you've already heard on, you know, when their special comes out or whatever. But I tell you what, like, I might have mentioned this before, but a few years ago, all in the same summer, I got to see Doug Stanhope, Bill Burr, and Dave Chappelle, all at the Hammersmith Apollo. And while Bill Burr and Doug Stanhope were really, really good, the thing that just stood out about Chappelle was not 1 second of material that Chappelle did that night made it on any of the specials that he released afterwards. And that was when he just banged out a few on Netflix in a really short period of time. Whereas Stanhope and Burr, it was probably about 25-30% of the material. You know? And it's like, just the fact that there's just some comedians that are just, you know, it's almost like a different show for everything they do.
I mean, Chappelle's just amazing, isn't he? He's just really good.
Yeah. He's got some problematic views, though. Anyway, well, you know, if we want to stick in controversial subjects, let's check this out. So I found this quite funny today. Who'd have thought Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Maguire are the most abused players on Twitter? I think I've noticed a really interesting trend, and that is there's a graph here. It's a chart, right? And it says the players who received the greatest number of abusive tweets. There is a common denominator that 8 out of the top 10 players share, and that is that they play for Manchester United. So yeah, you know, I don't think it's politics. I don't think it's, you know, it is basically, if you play for Man United, you're getting it on Twitter. So you know, if you want to stay away from online harm, don't sign for Man United. Come to Arsenal. There isn't a single Arsenal player in that list. There isn't a single Chelsea player. You can come to Arsenal, Chelsea. Funnily enough, Liverpool. Like, just stay away from Man United. So any top player that wants to look after their mental health, don't sign for Man United.
I mean, I really don't follow football, but do you think it's Man City fans? Is that the
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's all fans, because the joke about Man City fans is that no one really supports them and they're a small club. But clearly, they're fairly popular. I mean, Jack Grealish plays for Man City. He's one player, but yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Old Ronaldo. You know, I mean, I think when you're that good, people hate you. Harry Maguire, I think it's probably because he's just a bit crap. But yeah. Anyway, let's move off football. let's move off football. I mean, I think we're probably thinking about drawing to a close. So rather than leaving you guys with a tune and then pissing off, let's play our performance of Last Man Standing at Just Push Play, and then let's just do a last little recap on how much fun we have. Sound good, boys?
Definitely.
Let's do it. So this is
Cheeky little
Last
edit.
Man Standing live, and you know, if people want to get access to this, the best way to do it, sign up to our mailing list, and you know, you'll get all of these amazing live videos that we're putting together from the footage we got.
Exactly.
They'll be coming out over the next few weeks. First to the mailing list, and then a few weeks later they'll hit YouTube. But you want it first. You want it first. So here's just a little taste, like a drug dealer giving crack to somebody.
Right, let's see some hands in the air. We're in Moldea, guys. We're at a festival. I can see those hands in the back, on the balconies. Oh yeah, this is our next shit. This is called Last Man Standing. Let's go. What can I see now? It's only your eyes. What can I feel every time? Tell me please, did I lose control? I gotta go. Fighting you, keep fighting me. Yeah, boy, you're running back to me. You keep fighting, but I'm running out of steam. Yeah, my life, you know, you're the last man standing. Stop what you're doing to me. We're past the line. Please, I'm down on my knees. And I'm lying. Baby, please, there's no control. We gotta get out of this hellhole. I keep fighting you, keep fighting me. Yeah, boy, you're running back to me. You keep fighting, but I'm running out of steam. Yeah, my life, you know, you're the last man standing. Cheers, guys.
Oh, how do you like that? Oh, I love the na-na-na-nas. Everyone's doing the na-na-nas in the chat. It's my favourite bit, you know. One of the... it's difficult to pull off a na-na-na-na-na-na. You know, it can be a bit... You know, but I think we've done a credible na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah. Yeah, I was... How did you feel after the gig, Drew? Because I was like... Because it's been so long, actually, since I played a big stage like that. it obviously sounds different when you're playing.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I was just worried about everything, so I wasn't really focusing on playing. I was just making sure we put on. I was just making sure our energy levels were up. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not. It's like all the bands, you know. We haven't come up. We're not in the middle of a tour, and that's the problem, isn't it, with this stuff like that, where like we're not in the middle of a tour, so we're not all slick. We're like all the bands are like playing it like a punk gig, where it's just like, fuck, just get on stage and play. But that kind of added to the charm of it, you know. You know, obviously there were a couple of mishaps, technical stuff, but I thought we played really well, considering. Do you know what I mean? I thought you utilised the stage really well. You know, like, and that's what you have to do when you realise when you're on a bigger stage, isn't it, Rod? Like, you just suddenly have to just use your area. And same goes for you, John. Do you know what I mean? You can just run up and down, not like run around the stage, but certainly go back and forth. And it's kind of cool, you know. It's like when you have that sort of area. I think because we're sort of our sound, you know, I tend to write the songs like that. You know, like well, the way we've written it, isn't it, Rod? It's just like for the bigger stages. So it's such a pleasure to play the big stages because it means that we get to kind of, you know. But everyone wants to play a big stage, but it is a totally different experience, you know. But I thought it was great, you know, for what it was. But I kind of wish we had 3 shows before us, like,
and 3 after,
and 3 after, you know. Yeah, exactly. And that's just what it is. Because when you go, every band's the same. Even when I was in Inglorious, it's not like the first shows were like any good. It takes a few days to get moving, you know. You can't. Any professional band always says it takes them about 3 or 4 weeks before they're like, like when they're on tour for a good year. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like it's that stuff, and you iron out all the creases like that, you know. So it's just what it is, you know. Just get on stage and go, you know.
I was pretty happy that my cardio training worked.
Mate, you're all over the stage. It's great.
Yeah, you know, I had a few people come up to me and were like, "Wow, you got some energy, boy." I was like, yeah. I did sort of cheat. I took a pre-workout drink like 20 minutes before we went on stage, which is Alex was like, "Are you stressed out?" I'm like,
a Red Bull and a line of crack, you know. Yeah. Like, no, like, you know.
Yeah.
American tour, tell me. I tell you what, if you can get us on an American tour, I love you.
Well, hopefully this time next week when we see you next Tuesday, we might have some news of, unfortunately it's not American, but an overseas tour, which will be quite cool.
Some overseas stuff happening, so.
Yeah, we are absolutely just buzzing to be able to get some gigs. And hopefully that'll help us book some shows in the UK as well. Because we've got Dementia Aware Fest.
Dementia Aware Fest coming up, and we've got
that's cool.
What's the one next year?
Station 18.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That's gonna be mega. So
we're quite up on the bill for that. It's quite cool.
Yeah, and there's some great bands playing as well. So like, I'm really chuffed like how far up we are. Hopefully we'll put on a good show and keep them rolling. Like, because I know you'll be loving this shit right here.
Yellow Jackets. Good shout.
Yeah, could do. Man, if we all wore yellow suits, that would be mad. And if I came out riding a horse...
no more wearing your white suits.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that'd be the day. Yeah, we've got to get on the whole... Just get in the gig club. I feel like there's a bit of a club for getting gigs. And we're kind of like the kids who've had lice and no one wants to talk to us. But Saturday was the beginning of the change, you know. Maybe I think maybe they're just, I don't know. I guess we've done so much like digital because it's kind of like just our situation. That's what we have to do. But we need to get into the real world. It's like the opposite, isn't it? Like a lot of like boomers and whatever, they want to get into the digital space, whereas we're like, we love the digital space. It's great, you know. But the real world,
we need to get on tour with like Bon Jovi for about a year. No,
I mean that would be great.
That's not going to happen. But,
no, I don't think it is.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, we need to jump on something though, so we can get on the tours.
Yeah, we'll get there. We've just got to Got to hit
Just
it.
a quick
Yes.
question.
Sledgehammer.
Just a quick question. Dream band you'd like to do a tour with?
Oh,
Dead or alive?
what? Dead or alive? No, you can't do that. Pete Burns is dead.
Or dead or alive? As in, you spin me round. As in, Pete Burns.
He's dead, mate.
Oh, well,
Did
we
George
can't
know
go
him? Did George know him?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't really have those types of conversations, like playing the guitar one day. Do you know Pete Burns? No. It doesn't really work that way. Do you know what I mean? You don't go into a rehearsal room going, yeah, Chris, you know, do you like fish? My wife's a vegetarian. I'll forget it. You know, it's not. Yeah.
So,
not like-
John, what was the question? Oh no, I remember. The band, any band you think.
Oh, actually, I've got a two-prong one actually. Which band would you like to follow, in terms of like you're headlining and they'll be before you? And which
No,
band
John,
would you
John,
like to
you
support?
just, John, you always just make things too complicated, right? Just keep
Who
it
do you
really
want to go on
simple.
tour with?
Who, like, let's just do. We'll just keep
Okay,
it
that's
two
cool.
pronged. Keep it two pronged, right? But
Okay, cool.
realistically, who we could go on and dream scenario. So, John,
Okay.
kick us off with your dream band to play with.
It'll be Pumpkins. It's just Smashing
good one.
Pumpkins. It just
Reach out.
What about reality ones?
Oh, reality ones.
M people.
People. Actually, do you know? I'd love to. I'd love
Bucks
to play
Fizz.
Electric Six.
I can get us a tour with
That'd
Bucks
be- that'd
Fizz.
be
I reckon I could do that.
Electric Six. Electric
that'd be
Six.
awesome.
Six. That might be a possibility. They're doing relatively like accessible gigs for a band of our size.
Well, I saw them in York about 2 years ago, just before COVID hit, and they got moved from a fairly big arena to like it somehow was better. It was like a proper run-down sort of club/pub, you know, where you could still see the nicotine stains in the carpet and on the walls.
Nice.
Really, really good. But Electric Six would be definitely a band I'd love to play with.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you, Drew?
What, a reality one or one I really
No,
want?
a dream one and a reality one. So go for your dream first.
I mean,
Go
the
big.
dream one would always be a band like Jane's Addiction or STP or something like that. You know, it would be lovely. You know, a reality one would be something to aim for. Would be something like The Darkness. Or, you know, that would be cool.
Ooh.
It's not. You know, it's not as far away as what you think. You know, it is doable.
Do you think we'd be a good mesh for The Darkness?
No,
I love The
probably not.
Darkness.
But it's rock, isn't it? Probably. I mean, I would take that tour because it would be a really good tour, and they're really cool guys. You know, I've done like the Steel Panther tour and things like that, but I wouldn't necessarily want to. That's a different crowd. You know, that's a whole
Steel
different-
Panther though. Florence Black went out with Steel Panther.
They did, didn't they? They
Yeah,
did.
you know,
do
they've
that.
done
No,
great.
Very good shout. Yeah, Panther are really good. They sort of seem to take on bands. It's like with the Planet Rock guys, Planet Rock bands. If you're doing well, like they seem to, a lot of bands seem to manage to jump on the Panther tour. Because Wayward Sons did a big tour with them after us as well,
Oh yeah.
and they sort of took Inglourious on like a big tour before I was in the band. Then I did the Panther tour, like a smaller one, which was like just a UK one. And then because we didn't do the European one because Fozzy was on tour with them.
Isn't that Chris Jericho's band?
Yeah, Chris Jericho's band.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're actually pretty decent as well.
Yeah, they
right?
are. They're really good, aren't they? They're really good. But yeah, like reality wise, yeah, probably someone like that, or I don't know. Who do you think? What do you think? What would you do?
Well, I mean, dream band, I would probably go with Pearl Jam or Alice in Chains, because I think
Yeah, that's a
like,
good shout.
it's weird. Do you know what's really weird? Like, I would say STP, but I don't like. I think I'm such a big Wieland fan. I don't look at them in the same way as I would, even though it's pretty much the same thing with Alice in Chains. But I just feel like they've been with their singer for a long time now. You know,
Yeah,
so
he's
it
great.
feels, and he's great as well, and it feels like they're the band. Do you know? And then Pearl Jam obviously have been, you know, they've had ins and outs, but it's Vedder, isn't it? You know, he's still there. So that probably one of those two. Or Jane's Addiction would be pretty mad. Filter. I don't know if they would ever be touring again, but
Yeah, and actually that's more of a reality one because they only play like one sec, the light's gone. One sec. They only play I've seen Filter and I thought it was gonna be some massive venue. Mate, it was at the Islington Academy. It's like it's not undoable. It's not doable. You know?
yeah. But like reality,
Cheap Trick would be quite a cool one to do.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's like. I think it would. I mean, all of those bands, anything like that, it's just going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then, like reality ones, I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I think Massive Wagons, Those Damn Crows, Mason Hill. You know, I see them as you know, Florence Black as well. I see them as kind of like leading this new British scene, you know, in the way, you know, I think it's just an evolution. You know, I think like you know, Inglorious were definitely on the forefront of when the whole scene was of like, you know, the kind of new wave of classic rock, when it was very much kind of bluesy 70s influenced rock. They were at the forefront, but it does feel like it's changing, and you're getting maybe a bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Inglorious. I think they've got great songs, but like, it's all serious, isn't it? Whereas I think like Wagons, especially, it's a bit tongue in cheek. It's a bit more like let's have fun, and I just kind of see it as it's like that natural progression from like the late 70s, and we're getting into like the 80s and. You know, and although Wagons don't have that sound, it's just that sort of energy of that. They have like the energy and the attitude, I think, of like a hair metal band, but their music isn't that. But you know, it feels like it's the natural evolution of things.
I think there's a common thread between all the bands we like. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's that tongue in cheek. It's just, you know, you take your music seriously, but you don't take yourself too seriously.
I think that's the best way to approach it. Yeah. Like, take the music seriously, but just have, you know, it's fun, isn't it? You know,
have a laugh.
Have fun with
it. But yeah. Right. Well, on that note, I think that was a pretty good place to end.
Yes.
The transmission.
On that bombshell.
oh, hang on. Let's just have a look. Right. So we've got a couple of comments. So, Dream, Rise Against, Reality, Social Distortion. That's Riley's. And then Paul, Dream would be Nirvana. Obviously, that would be a dream.
Well, yeah, literally a dream.
Yeah. Reality, Massive Wagons.
Foos,
so, you know,
do you know what I mean? Foos would be amazing, wouldn't it? I mean,
are they still going?
No.
I don't know. But yeah, that was that.
What do you reckon? Okay, final. Just to finish off, do you think they're going to continue or not?
No, I don't think they're going to continue.
I think they're not going to continue. John?
Sorry, who?
Foo Fighters.
Ooh. No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they would.
No.
I think they'll do these gigs and that'll be it.
Yeah, I actually think, I don't want to sound mean, and it isn't meant in this way, but I actually think in some ways, while it's obviously been horribly tragic that it's ended like this, it kind of felt maybe they were slowing down anyway. You know, I'm not sure, had this not happened, if there wouldn't be much afterwards. Do you know what I mean? And I think maybe it's like, you know, I think the fact that they've really taken their time to think about it, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
You know,
Possibly.
I mean,
last one.
you never know.
Yeah, there you go. Lee's made a point. Dream, Alice in Chains, Reality, Massive Wagons. I'll tell you what, Lee, we'll hold that to you. And if you can get us on the Massive Wagon tours, I'll buy you a pint.
Yeah. Do you know what? I wonder, Lee, maybe you can answer this in the chat. When you did the rider for Massive Wagons, did they have wagon wheels on their rider? And was it the normal size wagon wheel, or did you have to bring in from America some sort of
giant wagon
wheel?
I don't think wagon wheels are a thing in America. I could be completely wrong.
Okay. Do you like original wagon wheel or blue one with jam in the middle?
Oh,
I like jam one. personally, but you know.
Do you know what? I like the idea of the jam one, but I never really had them that much. So I know I like wagon wheels. Also, did you think the marshmallow in the wagon wheel was quite different to real marshmallow? It was completely different, but it was very tasty.
It was good.
Anyway,
on that note.
On that
new sponsor,
confectionery-based banter, we will say good night. Oh, we've got the confirmation. No, they didn't have wagon wheels, but he should have.
Oh,
well,
let down.
You know.
Let down.
Yeah, damn. I would have thought it'd be on their rider, but whatever. Anyway, guys, have a great rest of the week.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We will see you all next Tuesday. Ta-ra!
Oh.
Guys, wave. Come on, there we go. Hey, bye. Bye.